Hi guys, so in this video I'm going to try out Diamond Press's new alcohol ink starter kit, and then there's a separate bundle that is a stencil, stamp, and vellum kit that goes along with the alcohol ink kit. So super new, different from what you saw in the Today Special. Of course, these are alcohol inks, and if you're familiar with them, you just kind of play with them. They're in like bottles and you kind of squirt them on special paper, right? So they did send these items free of charge for my review, and all opinions are my own. Any links down in the description box will be affiliate links, which means I'll make a small commission if you're purchased items to those links. So I have been waiting to try this out. Look at this box. Oh my goodness, my lighting, there it goes. Look at that. Let's bring this out. I'm going to go ahead and take this out of this plastic wrapping so my camera stops freaking out, and then I'm going to go ahead and open the stencil kit too, but I'll be right back. So I'm going to take this lid off. So I love that we can put this back away just like this. If we want to keep that, cardboard box, it'll fit right in there. It'll look really nice. But let's check this out. We have 2, 4, 6, 7 alcohol inks. Now these 6 are colored, so we have red, yellow, blue, teal, green, and purple, and you can definitely mix and match these and have some fun with them that way. You have the alcohol ink, the blending solution. So what I love about this kit, I'm gonna be honest, is that generally when you get into something like this, you're picking up your colors. Oh, then you might want a blending solution, so you have to pick that up, and then you're picking up these things. So like that, everything is here, including the applicator with that little like foam kind of top is really cool. And then you might be wondering, what is this little turkey baster over here? But it's basically just to move the air, move the ink, right? So it's the air comes out of that, you can move the ink around that special paper. So we'll talk about that in just a minute. We have this guy that's going to hold these heads, and this is just a way to get the ink down. You can also just put the ink right on the paper. You can move it around with the blending solution. You can put it like on that glass mat, the ink colors, and then bring your paper to it and just do that kind of like a kiss, I guess is what they call a technique, so it's something like that. So we will definitely try a few different techniques of getting the ink on your paper and moving it around, and basically you're making backgrounds, or you just, you can then use your texture paste or other things on top of that and just make it look really fun. So this paper, again, is this special kind of alcohol ink paper. I think some people might call it Yupo paper. That's a different type of paper. This is really cool because what this is, it's not super thick. It doesn't feel like photo paper. It feels very slick and sturdy, but not super thick. So it has a different look to it, which I really appreciate. I know sometimes that looks more like photo paper. It's very shiny, right? So it just has a different look. I just had to adjust that lighting. It was looking crazy. I'm so sorry. So we have these, and there are tons of sheets of it. So we will try that out in different ways. It does come with some info, alcohol ink instructions here, tips and tricks. Again, I mean, you just have fun with it. The blending solution is really awesome because you can use it, you can wipe it with a towel, it'll like pick up the color, it'll move around the color. It's just a lot of different ways to use this stuff, so we will get to it and play here. This is let's see, a little tip. Once ink is dry, use paintbrush or other tools or object with blending solution to remove ink in desired area to create design, spell out words. So again, just lots of fun things to do. And so along with, we have the kit. You can pick up this separate kit here is the stencil, stamps, and vellum. And I was like, ooh, stencils. Because basically, again, if you put just a blending solution, let's say on one of these guys, and then use the stencil, if you already have a background made, you can pick up that color and then it leaves kind of like a bleached effect behind right through the stencil. Just lots of fun different ways to use these things. Let's move this to the side here. So in this one we have the oversized stencils, really pretty. You have lace borders, you have this awesome one called leaves, you have butterflies, which is really fun, you have floral burst, you have a mandala look, and then you have, ooh, these are pretty flowers, really, really pretty. And then it comes with vellum die cuts and some stamps. So let's check those out. Again, just a fun kit just to try out different things and kind of play around a little bit. The stamps, I mean, look how big this stamp is. Let me see if I can look at that. Big boy. Love who you are, thank you. And then beautiful like butterfly with like a burst on the other side of flowers. Have a beautiful day. Really, really pretty and floral here. I love these kinds of things, just as like ghost in the background kind of stuff. So we'll talk about that in just a minute, but really pretty. the vellum pieces that we saw there. So just some accents, things like that you can pop on top of your cards that you make. Love those shapes, really pretty. There's like butterflies and sprigs. And then again, the stencils. So we'll definitely play with these in just a minute. And basically the stencils I showed you in the pictures there. So again, they do have an oversized stencil, so it's like 8.5 by 5.5, basically the area that you can, like, obviously this one's different, but what I'm trying to say is this area in here is generally about that size, and they're a little bit larger than that because you need to have like a little something to tape and all that kind of stuff, the border edge there. So we will play with these in just like, oh, look at that, fun. What I want to do first is just get some color down. Let's just start playing. So let me grab the glass mat, although I do have the smaller glass mat, and I know it's not available yet, but it will be on mydiamondpress.com. I'm going to grab the larger mat, and we'll get started. I'm just going to put these down here, and we're just going to go for it. Again, you know, both sides of the paper pretty much feel the same, but this one feels a little rougher than this side, but I have a feeling it doesn't matter which side you use. It feels very smooth on both sides. Again, we can just start off. So let's say I have some of this teal and some of this blue. And I'm just going to start with the easiest thing to do, which is just add some color. And I'm putting it on this area of our mat just so you can see what we're doing. And the blue, so that was teal and blue, because I think those colors would look really lovely together. And you might think, like, what is going on? It's fine. You can dip into that right now already, but it's always nice to have some of the blending solution to kind of break up the color and get the color moving also. So I'm just gonna, oop, that was that little ring. That was this ring that was down here. I don't think I need it. If I need it, I'll put it back on, but for now I think it just was there to keep it sealed right. Look at the little circle it made. Okay, so actually, before I just dip into that, maybe what we can do is take this guy and just move this around a little bit already. And let's bring our paper, and again, I'm using the side that I think feels smoother, but that could just be me. And I just dip it in there and pick it up. You have this gorgeous background. Now, I can keep dipping it. I can be like, oh, this is organic and lovely, and that's just how I want it to be. I can use some alcohol ink right on here again. I mean, there's just lots of ways to play with this. I'll give it one more dip over here just to get a little more. Okay. And you can say, oh, I still have all this left. Yeah, you do. And what you can do is add more color. You can do a little more alcohol ink, the blending solution. Bring another piece of your paper over. Trying to do this so I don't have stuff all over my hands. See the way it floated because of the blending solution I put on there? Ooh, okay, let's do that again. Just a little bit there. And just to finish it off, I'm going to add a little bit more of this because I feel like it's drying. Again, it is alcohol ink, so it does dry. There we go. And there we have another background. That's lovely. And what I'm going to do is clean this up. Now, if it's still wet, you can definitely just wipe it. If it's not, what I would do is grab some alcohol, just rubbing alcohol like you have in your medicine cabinet, and just add a little bit and then wipe it off. So I'm just gonna wipe this up and I'll be right back. Oh my gosh, you guys, I was on my way to my medicine cabinet to get the alcohol, and I was like, you know what, I have hand sanitizer spray, so might as well just use that. So there you are. Again, I mean, hand sanitizer spray is alcohol based, so I'm just gonna take a moment to keep cleaning that up, and I'll be right back. Nice and dry. Wanting to make sure it's dry just because that's what's in your guys' field of view, and that's where I'm going to put my paper down. Okay, another thing you can do, so let's grab this. And I'm so sorry if the lighting is getting wonky. Okay, sorry, try to adjust it, but again, it's that glare and it makes the camera just want to compensate. So anyway, we have these guys. So what I'm going to do is take one of these. And I'm assuming you can probably use this over and over, especially if you rinse it out with some alcohol so that the color just kind of releases. Or you use one for each color. But another fun trick to do is to put this on here. And you add your color in a fun way. So let's do yellow. You can just add splotches of color. Maybe some blue. yellow, blue, I got a little on there, and teal? Again, I don't know. Just trying to see what might look fun. Maybe a little more yellow since I kind of... Okay. Oh, I see, I got some on there. And all I was going to do with this anyway is just come in and do this kind of thing. And you see I'm doing the same way each time, and it kind of looks like a kaleidoscope type effect. But you can definitely, you know, move it around. I am in love with this paper. I'm sorry. I was just looking at it, I'm like, it's not super shiny, and that was kind of what would hold me back before. I don't really like just the shiny photo paper look, and this is like dry looking, you guys. Do you see that? I think that is amazing. That also means you're going to be able to stamp on that in a cooler way. So I did kind of model that over again, you know, and so that we have that. Look at this background. And again, it's not going to be shiny, which I super prefer. Oh my gosh, that's so cool. Let me see how much I have on here still. I might have enough to do some more, but let's see. Maybe we're just going to be a little more playful with it this time. I don't feel like I even squished that much color, and it has tons of color. So in this one, you see I'm just kind of going in a fun way, and you can kind of see the difference, I suppose, from this one and this one, where I just went linear, so it looks very similar, right? Repeating, and this one's just more funky. I love having the little white spots there. And then you can also even take some of the alcohol ink like this stuff and just dab here and there. It'll kind of give you a different look. You know, it'll kind of move it a little bit. And then another thing is dropping it right on the paper. So let me clean up and we'll do that. You know me, I was gonna go clean up, and then I was like, well, I probably still have some more in here. Look at that. And I can even like make little swirl like circles. I just kind of turned it like this, just to give some different texture. That is so cool. I cannot believe how much, with those little bit of squirts. I mean, I probably still have enough to make another page, but there's another one with like wormholes. all right, I'll be back. Okay, you know, it hurts my heart to get rid of that. I'm sorry, I'm gonna keep playing. Okay, what I was gonna do is bring over a stencil, and let's see what it looks like if we stencil through, right? Let's do this one. And if it starts getting dry, I can hit it with a little blending solution, or I can just add some more color, right? So it's the same thing still on there. Yeah, it's getting a little bit drier. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is the same thing, but just add a little more. And I think it's getting dry just because it's drying out, right? Because it's alcohol ink. You definitely want to put your lids back on your alcohol ink here. And let's see how that does for us. And I'm just pouncing in these areas. I don't know if you can see that. It is a felt piece, so it is very firm, but I'm pushing it hard enough so I can get into those nooks and crannies. And of course, since this is alcohol ink, it will stay on the plastic stencil, so you definitely want to rinse it off also, wipe it down, or use, you know, your alcohol, or like I said earlier, hand sanitizer. And I'm just kind of popping that here and there. Again, a little stiff. Let's see what we got. Ooh, just a really cool mottled pattern back there. Oh, you can see that's really organic looking and awesome. Okay, I'm gonna clean up now. I'll be back. Again, I apologize for that glare there. Yeah, so I washed this off with hand sanitizer. I mean, there's a little staining, but there it is. And doesn't mean the stencil works any different. It's still a stencil and still works just fine. So again, this guy, and let's try, oh, let's do purple and blue. No, purple and teal. So again, we can just add and see how it just moves on its own, just because the paper is like special. And then we can bring this guy in. And then you have time to work with it. You don't have to move super fast. And then let's do some alcohol ink, just a blending solution. And you can just let it do its thing. You can come in here and blow it around, which is really great. You can use a heat tool. It's really cool that this actually has a little tool for you to use. Look at that. Oh my gosh. That's really pretty. Oh, I love when the purple comes into contact with that teal. It makes like a deeper kind of purple. And I think that's all the movement I have. You can also just pick it up and move it that way, but that air really just dries it out for you. How pretty is that? Again, so that's just more organic in the background. You want to move it some more? Put some more alcoholic blending solution and do a little more. You know, add more color. You can do little drops of color here and there. I think it's pretty dry. Yeah. And that's just another technique. So, I mean, there's just lots of fun ways to play with this. I'm going to put some of these, put these up, and then we'll, you know, put together a little card, a little something. When I said I was done with this one, I wasn't really. I did another one where I just took the handle and I just smeared it like this, and I came up with this guy. Okay, oh, you know what? I can show you actually with this one. I mean, with lots of them. You can still come back in, and you can even put alcohol in a spray bottle, you guys, and it will do fun things, you know? And maybe I'll do that, and maybe I'll still move it around a little bit. Right? So just have fun with it, play around a little bit. You can die cut from this, you know, afterwards, and now you have all this really fun stuff. So, okay. I'll be back. Okay, so, you know, I have all these backgrounds we just created. All these guys, this one more recently, these guys, all of these. And again, you know, just playing around with them. You can come in here and let's say we have like this. And again, I'm being real playful with it. If you want to put it on a precision press, you can definitely do that or however. But this is just some VersaFine ink. It's nice and thick and sticky. And what if I just kind of came in and did that? We have that beautiful leaf there. Maybe you want to do some second generation stamping. Maybe you bring it in here. So that's a beautiful background. Then of course you can put in a sentiment, maybe some other things. And like I said, maybe you do some second generation stamping. So just a little bit of something here. Maybe a little something coming in over here. That just means we don't ink it up again. So you have like a lighter and lighter effect. You know, so we have something like that. Let's see what else do we have. Ooh, this little ferny one. I wonder. So those are alcohol inks. Again, they're going to move with alcohol. You know, if you come in with something like that. Maybe something like this. It looks like a dark blue color. I'll be right back for the colors that I have here. Like, I don't know. This may or may not show up. It's just a blue. I don't know if it's dark enough, but it has like a little effect there. You can see that. So just, again, just adding texture, even if it's not super obvious. I think that looks really pretty. I'll put some here, and I usually put things off the edge. So if I had left my glass mat here, I would have been stamping off the edge. I'll still do it here, but just to look a little more organic and fun. So you have that beautiful piece there, and you can definitely use just regular alcohol. Like I said, rubbing alcohol, it will also help you with things. Maybe put some in a spray bottle. You can spray that. You can use the blending solution alcohol and dip into it, and then dip in, and it'll give it again a bleached look. So there's just lots of fun ways to play with these items. Let me grab a card base and we'll put something together. I just grabbed the Slimline card set because I love the ephemera that's in there. I remember there was one that was kind of like watercolor looking that had like blue and greens, so I grabbed that. And I was gonna go for a green sprig, but how pretty is this? Just a pop of like the color, so we'll use that. We'll use some of the vellum from the kit and stamp a little sentiment on here. I probably will cut this down though, and just because I like to have a matte layer, so I'm gonna cut this down probably 4 1/8 by 5 3/8, and I'll be right back. Just take a little bit off each edge, just to go around. I mean, you can cut off just the top and the bottom or whatever, or not top and bottom, top and side, and that'd be fine too. But I wanted more of an even look and taking it off all around all the edges. Okay, so let's go ahead and glue this guy down. So pretty. And I'm not going too crazy with the glue because this is a new paper for me. I don't know how it reacts to that, so I'm just going to put, you know, enough to hold it down, but not, you know, too much glue. And I am using an A2 size card base, and I'm sorry I didn't mention that, but that's why I cut my paper 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. But the A2 size card base, of course, is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And so I'll probably pop some of these vellum pieces. Oh, the butterfly. And again, I mean, you can put alcohol ink on these guys too, you know. So pretty. And I was going to mention that. I suppose you could put it on regular paper. It is porous. It's like when you color with alcohol ink markers, right? It's going to want to suck it through to the other side. So you can do that. It's not going to move around the same. It's just going to give a different look. That's what's nice about this paper. If you notice on the back, it was pristine and white because it doesn't soak through. And it's just a different thing, you know? But anyhow, let's see here. Aw, so if I had some little extra texture, right? So if I had that down there and this guy over here, maybe another one to go with him. A little longer sprig here. Something like that. Okay, and then let's put a sentiment on here. Let's see what we have. Oh, I got you just 'cause. Thank you. Oh, we can do thank you. That fit on there. It kind of maxes out that space, but that's okay. All right, so I'll do thank you. I'm just going to put this on a precision stamping press, guys, and hold it down, and then I'm just going to stamp it with, I was trying to think if I want to use like blue ink or black ink. Probably some black ink, just so it pops, okay? And I'll be right back. I oriented that on there. I just stuck it down, and I just oriented my stamp, and there it is. Okay, I'll be right back. So we have our piece here, and then I'm going to pop those guys in there. I think what I'm going to do is just put the smallest amount of glue. Let me put that one there. And this little guy. Again, just a little something. You don't want to put too much. Down at the bottom I'll put more because that's going to be covered. But for this part, just a little something here and there. And then we're going to have this guy here. And before I really push that down, I will get this little guy, pop him in there too. Again, this is just for texture. You can definitely run this through an embossing folder. I would use one that's not too complicated, just because we have that thin line in the center, you know, you don't want to like tear through it. But if you have one that's just a little something, that'd be really cute. Just give some texture on those guys. Okay, there we go. And then, oh wow, so I was wondering if I should glue it down here and then have it up here. I think that's cute. So let me double up some, I don't know if I have to double it, but let's see. Oh, just see how this looks here. And then I'll hold down the other piece. Something like that. Yeah, that'd be good. Okay. So I'm just gonna put some glue there, and I'm just gonna hold on to it till it sets up. So I will be right back. Okay guys, so there's a beautiful card maker real quickly. Again, I made a ton of backgrounds all at once. Just has a really textured, awesome look in the background of this one. We have this one with, again, I just kind of smeared it like that. I did a little dotting, you know, I did some background stamping, and of course we put whatever we want to put there on that card base. On this one was, again, modeling in different ways, kind of moving it around, and then doing some kind of ghost stamping there. So blue on blue, so it just kind of blends in, although you see the texture there. On this one, again, this was just an extra one that I had done, and then I just took the handle and just kind of did circles. What's funny is I see them clearly here in real life. Hopefully you can see them. Yeah, there they go. Really pretty. This is the first one that we did, where I just kind of took it and just went doot, doot, doot. Oopsie, hold on. Kept just one over the other, one over the other, one over the other, and just kept repeating that pattern. And I got a little more modeled at the bottom, but that's kind of what that looks like. It looks like one of those mind's eye things, doesn't it? And then this guy, where we just put it right on here with some alcohol blending solution, just kind of use that little squirt tool there to move around, move the air and move the liquid around there. And these are the first ones that we tried out, where we would just put the ink right onto our surface, use a little blending solution to kind of get it moving, and then just dipped in there, or use the little tool also to get that moving before we dipped into it. So lots of fun ways to make backgrounds. I love that they are not shiny. I think that is awesome. It makes it, for me, much better for card making, and it just looks really nice, right? So love that. All right, guys. Well, thanks for watching. Thank you so much, Diane, for sending these items for review. Just another fun, you know, get your fingers and hands a little messy here and have some fun. Oh my gosh, I have all these backgrounds I can play with now, so that's really great. All right, guys. I'll see you at the next one. Bye now.